Starting to believe a KO can have negative effects on your career. Look at MVP KO'd by Douglas Lima and won in the rematch, and he lost to Logan Storley, lost to Ian Gary by close decision. MVP is slowing little by little. Thoughts? Question mark. I saw that fight. It was a very, very close fight. Shiz. And I don't think it has anything to do with the knockout. I think he's fighting much higher. Like all those names you talked about, all those names you mentioned that he lost to, those are just higher level competitors. MVP is a phenomenal fighter. He's just fighting Ian Gary. He's fighting Logan Storley. Logan Storley is no joke. I mean, that guy's a killer. And it's not because he got knocked out. It's because those guys out wrestled him. At the end of the day, Ian Gary Machado just out wrestled him. He outstruck him a little. I would say outstruck him, man. I think MVP looked good in the striking. The third round was close. I gave the first round obviously to Ian. Second round I gave it to MVP. Third round I had MVP ahead, and then Ian Gary came out with that double leg, took him down, took his back, controlled MVP. You had to give it to him. It was a close fight, but those are just higher level competitors, and it was the first time we see him against higher level competitors. The thing is, MVP's had a lot of fights in his career, but he's fought a lot of guys you never heard of. He's fought a lot of guys you've never heard of. Let me go check out his record, okay? All right, let's look at his record, okay? He's 23-3. He's 17-2 in Bellator, 1-1 in UFC. Okay, let's look at this. All right, let's see. Okay, he lost to Douglas Lima. Before that, he beat Paul Daly. Okay, Paul Daly, 40-16. Okay, we've all heard of Paul Daly. A very, very good fighter, but not a top 10 in UFC. Okay, he won against David Rickles. Nobody knows who that is. You guys never heard of David Rickles. Then he beat Fernando Gonzalez. Then he beat Evangelista Santos, flying knee. That was Cyborg. Okay, he broke his skull. Cyborg was 21-17, for goodness sake. The guy, Cyborg, I think was like in his 40s when he did that. It's just a horrible matchup. You guys never heard of Gonzalez. You never heard of Santos. You've never heard of Jeremy Holloway. You've never heard of Ontiveros. You've never heard of Nashan Burrell. Nashan Burrell did fight in UFC. He got cut. He fought MVP in Bellator. Ricky Rainey. I mean, these are a lot of names that if you put them in UFC, they would not get to the top 15. Okay, so they didn't even make it in UFC. Who did he fight that you would know? Well, Douglas Lima. Douglas Lima, you might know. Of course, you would know him. And he lost once, and he beat Douglas Lima once. I think he lost both times. I thought Douglas Lima won both fights. Very close to the second fight, but I thought Douglas Lima pulled it out. They gave it to MVP. He beat... Who did he beat? Okay, Derek Anderson, a tough fighter. I've trained with Derek Anderson, but a lot of you have probably never heard of him. I don't think he would be top 15 in the middleweight division, welterweight division. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, now we have Mike Perry. He lost to Mike Perry in a bare knuckle match. I think that was very, very close. Could have gone really either way. It was very, very close. I'd have to rewatch it again. Gyoti Yamauchi, he won in Bellator. I don't think much of anybody would know him. 28-5. Kevin Holland, okay, that we know. Okay, that was a really good win for MVP. That was a big name, and he beat a big name in UFC. Fantastic. Now he lost to Ian Machado. It's just that, guys, he's fought a lot of guys, people that are just not the level that he is. MVP is a top, in my opinion, a top 15 welterweight, and he just belongs to, he needs to compete with the top 15 in welterweights. He beat a lot of people you never heard of. That's the truth.